So the title of this Reddit post is "Most Men Are Just Parasites." The person who wrote this deleted it, or she deleted her account, but this is what she wrote. And the title of this, or the subheading, is Male Depravity. And she wrote, "Due to my job, I've been helping a lot of people with certain paperwork. For some reason, women are always able to handle it themselves. But as soon as it's a couple, the men are in 90% cases incapable of doing anything. 90% of men rock up with their wives or girlfriends to mommy them and help them. Even if this paperwork stuff has nothing to do with the wives or girlfriends, I have been dealing with hundreds of cases, and you wouldn't believe how many times they are incapable to call or show up for themselves. It's always the wives and men, it's always the wives and girlfriends who try to sort the man's shit out. Like they're always trying to fix things for the men. Women out there, please stop helping them with their paperwork. They are fully capable to do so, and if they wanted to, they would. Please ingrain it deeply into your brain. Men would if they wanted to." And I love that she said that, because I say that all the time. There's so many women, especially the ones who love balls in their face, who always make, all of these excuses for men. They don't understand women. They don't have the same mindset. That's bullshit. If someone wants to do something as an adult, they will do it. I've seen men pull apart, 8-cylinder engines under 6 hours, put them back together with their eyes closed, arm tied behind their back, no issue. But when it comes to being decent to a person of the opposite sex, it's a Rubik's Cube situation. No, that's bullshit. They don't want to be nice to you because they just don't want to. And you, as a woman, you don't demand it. So the name of this series is The Parasitic Male, or the Male Parasite. And I'm just going to give examples with the next 4 videos of how men behave when it comes to women in society. For the most part, women, I always say this, we do the heavy lifting. This is why men are able to kind of participate in high academia. They're able to sit around and talk and think all day. They're able to build robots so that they can have sex with these robots. They're able to do research into developing an artificial womb, everything that they can possibly do so that they don't have to be nice to you. These men are willing to build robots so that they can fuck, so that they don't have to be nice to you. These men are looking of ways to build artificial wombs so that they can fuck and procreate with, so that they don't have to acknowledge you and be nice to you. And there are still women out there that are giving birth to them, that are holding space with them, that are inviting them into their personal unions, because again, you like cock and balls in the face. So let's just read some of the comments or the responses to what she wrote. And this is what the first person wrote, and her account was also deleted. Not sure why, but it was deleted. It says, "Agree." And this is on the subreddit Female Dating Strategy, which I don't understand, because if you go to Female Dating Strategy, the Reddit right now, this is called a dating strategy for females, but every single post is on why you should not date as a female. They might as well rename themselves 4B at this point, because every single article is about rape, women getting hurt on dates, dating issues with women. Every single post on female dating strategy should be or is listed under male behavior and how they treat women. I don't know why they want women to have a dating strategy when dating men. It just looks like this subreddit should just change its name to something different, because when you read the post, it doesn't look like, women should be dating at all. So this is what the first person said. Agreed. 100%. I was ruminating the other day on where there's likely to be the highest concentration of HVM, University, Academia, Corporate Offices. When I realized, though, What I realized, though, I'm sorry, is if he wanted to, he would mantra is applicable to every corner of society, because guys are constantly putting in the least effort and trying to get the most benefit. If they cared about doing a good job for their own sake, they would do the damn work themselves. But they don't do the work themselves. They rely on women and their wives to kind of pick up the slack. And this is why they had that. I don't know if you remember, there was like this comedy skit, and they stopped these families on the street, and then they kind of questioned the dad, and then they questioned the mom about their children. The dads didn't know their middle names. The dads didn't know the color of their children's eyes. The dads didn't know the allergies. The dads didn't know the names of their teachers. The dads didn't know what they were, again, allergic to. But it's kind of like, how can you be a parent and not know those important things for your children? If your child were to go missing, those are the questions that law enforcement would ask you to identify your child. But these men didn't feel that they needed to know it, because why? When they went to question the wife, she knew everything. She knew of the allergies. She knew who the teachers were. She knew how tall they were. She knew the color of their eyes, their birthdays. Some of the fathers didn't even know the birthdays of their children. And these are the men that are trying to convince women to have more children with them. And you're doing it because you want a gold star in society. You've never been important in anything else in your life. So becoming a mother to you is the top tier of things that you can do as a woman. I'm telling you that it's not. It's not. Right? So this is what she says. In undergrad, I had guys leeching off my homework and study guides. I had to lead my research groups in grad school, despite them all having years on me in terms of experience. Now working full time, I have to handhold from men in senior positions because they'd been getting by with virtually zero effort for years they've been employed. Mind-boggling and very, very telling of the nature of men. Another person wrote, "Things like this make me so angry. It sometimes feels like women are solely responsible for making sure every daily activity in society keeps functioning." Another woman wrote, "This is why if I need to do anything and I need anything for work, I'm relieved if I get to work, speak, to buy from, order from a woman. I know I won't be condescended on and things will get done." I agree. There was even another post about how so many women prefer when they get like Instacart or Amazon Prime food delivered, if the person delivering it or if the person shopping for them are women. And then there was another, I think this was on Lipstick Alley too, about how there's so many women who are signing up for these Instacart, Uber Eats type of things, and then they're signing up for it as women, but then they're allowing their boyfriends to take over the position or the job that they sign up for. And I think they do that because their boyfriends on their own can't get qualified to or be eligible to be an Uber Eats or Instacart driver. So they have their girlfriends sign up for them, and then they take over the job, and then they do a shitty work of it. If you order, like, for example, a few apples, the male will bring you 10 bananas. If you order 10 bananas, he'll bring you 16 carrots. If you order 16 carrots, he'll bring you a carton of milk in replacement. Like, this is some of the complaints that you hear from when women actually do rely on men. They get the bare minimum, or they just get like a shitty experience. And we see even with women who have mechanics who are men. It's always a complaint when you have to engage with them because they do the bare minimum. And in society, they get away with doing the bare minimum, whereas women, we have to perform. And we have to perform on such an excellent level because the narrative is women are the ones that are stupid. Women are the ones that are lost. Women are the ones that are emotional. Women are the ones that are not logical. That's the narrative. So I think because of those narratives, women show up and they perform better. And I think they perform better because everyone is kind of watching for them to fuck up. And when you have that type of pressure, you do your best to kind of just be excellent, right? Because people are already looking at you out the gate as a piece of shit. People always look at men as the point of authority. they always look at men as the most intelligent person in a room, and men bank on that shit all the time. Meanwhile, the person who is actually the intelligent one is the woman behind the scenes doing all of the work. And she remains behind the scenes and she never kind of speaks up, right? So another person wrote, I'm sorry, I'm working with a LDM who is definitely like this. I work in arts admin and he's the artistic director, so it's frustrating. He just hands me sheets of paper and note cards with random shit written on them and then expects me to turn it into something. He's like, I'm an idea person. Bitch, me too, but ideas mean nothing without execution, she says. Of course, he also always complains about how I do things. This 70-year-old man wants me to be his work mommy. This is a new job and I will not be doing that. Also, his wife is like 40 and definitely treats him like another kid. We're in a meeting and he has to call her because he doesn't know his own schedule. Another person wrote, I'm in educational social sciences and the men attracted to my field are absolute trash. They're more driven by status and actual ambition or wanting to help people. So they get the decision-making positions and don't do a goddamn thing, while highly competent women choose to be in the classroom because they actually care about kids. That's another thing with parasitic men. They get preferential treatment by everyone around them. Everyone around them kind of rolls out the red carpet for them, and then they kind of take advantage of that. Meanwhile, women who are sitting there who are more qualified, they don't get that same treatment. And a lot of the times, these parasitic men will steal ideas from women and knock them off as their own, similar to what we learned about Albert Einstein just recently. All of his ideas taken from his wife. Did I know that before? Absolutely not. Why? Because nobody knew it. Everyone thought that Albert Einstein was a genius on his own. That's not actually true. His wife was the brains and a lot of the things that he kind of put down, but she was never given any credit. Another person wrote, God, yes, I used to be a medical receptionist at a fertility clinic where people often came as couples for consults and men can't even fill out a simple consent form on their own. Their partners almost always did it for them. If they were alone, you know they weren't going to read the whole thing and skip some things important. And I had to call them back up to finish what they missed. Like, girl, do you really want to have a kid with someone who can't put their initials and phone number on a paper without help? That's another comment that somebody wrote in regards to men being parasites. Another person wrote, I have witnessed so many men who are incapable of doing anything for themselves. It is frustrating that they are always the ones who receive the most benefits from society with minimal or no effort. Another person wrote, my ex would say, oh, I don't know how. I'm thick. I don't know how to do those things. British slang for dumb. He was just lazy and thought if he did the Bumble account, I'd swoop in and help him out. One day I just looked at him and said, have you tried actually trying? Really, that's so crazy. Someone else said, yeah, that was me. The last scrote that I was with, I booked his appointment. I had to tell him what papers to bring, remind him of the hour, drove him to his appointment, spoke on the phone for him, did his tax forms for him. Wow, his tax forms? That's crazy. Yeah, and it was my fault because I allowed and did it for him. Glad my pick-me-sha days are over. What we permit, we promote. So tell me what you think in the comment section. Do you think that men are parasites? Have you ever been a pick-me-sha where you did all of the paperwork and executed all of these things for the men that you were with? Get into the comment section, like, share, subscribe, and see you next time.